All right, welcome to Tuesday's Tips. Today's topic is time management and your academic calendar. This is sponsored by Educational Support Services and the first year experience here at Lehigh Carbon Community College. All right, so Tuesday tips. In 15 minutes or less, we're going to give you a mini workshop where we talk about some of the essential skills for students at LCCC to be successful. We want you to be successful. My name is Michael. I'm a learning specialist, and I help students with all types of things to help them be successful in school. Study skills, test anxiety, how to deal with that, test taking techniques, time management, organization, goal setting, a whole bunch of other stuff. You can reach me at Educational Support Services, and you have the information here. Okay, so here's our quick agenda. We're going to talk about time management, the importance of calendars, and tips to square away your academic calendar. Okay, so rate yourself first on your time management skills. This is internal, your internal thoughts here, your own internal thoughts. How would you describe your current college level time management skills? 5, moment to moment is locked down. 4, most of the time you're on your game. 3, so. 2, I'm listening, Michael. That's why I came to the session. 1, crap, I am in two other places right now. I'm glad this is being recorded. All right, so maybe that's where you are. So to think about time management while you're in college, right? It's 100% on you. There's nobody who's going to be overseeing your time management. It's you, right? And think great things are at risk. Missed assignments, big and small. You don't manage your time well, right? Missed college deadlines, including things like graduation and transfer applications, right? If you miss those, miss other responsibilities and many other things, right? In short, if you screw up, you might be screwed. No one else will be. Right. And bottom line, one of the themes about this is adulting's hard. Yeah, you got to manage your time. No one else is going to babysit for you. Okay, so calendars and planners. They're two distinct things in my mind, but today we're going to be talking about calendars. Okay, so a calendar, when you use your calendars well, you can see the bigger picture better. You can see clump points and make plans on how to deal with them. You can create future plans. These are things like including days off, R&R days, trips, vacations, right? We can see what those things are, but you can meet key essential deadlines better. And believe it or not, when you have a good calendar, you reduce your stress levels. Okay, so there's two types of calendars we can talk about here. One of which is the physical calendar, so it's some people like, or the Google Calendar, or some other type of app. You have access to both of these along these lines. And honestly, students sometimes prefer one or the other, but most people use both. I personally use both in different ways. Right. Now, thing about Google Calendars, you can do great things once you know how to do it. Right. You can do wonderful things with it. Then the calendar app can do some of the key work for you. Like if you look down here, I've got the Canvas calendar that I can hook onto. I've got my son's middle school events right here. I've got a bunch of calendars here that I can select. Those are great things that will automatically give me a lot of good options. But there is a learning curve with Google Calendars, right? And one of the things you have to ask yourself is, one, how good am I with it? And how much time do I have to learn this while I'm in college, right? So you might want to go to the old paper pencil one just to start off with if you're kind of new to this whole thing. Or maybe you're really strong with it right now. You can kind of live in the Google world only, or maybe you want to bounce back and forth. Okay, so creating your own academic calendar, right? First thing you want to do is gather your materials, all your syllabi, and I mean all of them. Get your syllabi for all your classes. Personal calendars, right? Get the college academic calendar. There's going to be a link to that academic calendar in our description, right? And other calendars, things like athletic events that you might be involved in, religious obligations you have, family calendars that might exist. Get all these things together. Decide what and where your master calendars will be, whether they be physical, electronic, or both. Well, decide, make that decision, and commit to it. Okay. Then go calendar by calendar and put them on your masters. Right. Now, here's some tips when you do that. Mark your inflexibles in pen, right? Pen or specific color on your Google Calendar, right? Things like class times and days, right? That's not going to change, right? Your class time and days of the week is not going to change throughout the whole semester. Right? Key social events, birthday parties, anniversaries, things that are very important to you personally, right? Things you want to do with your friends, right? Fixed deadlines, things like car inspections and taxes. Those things have been marked in pen so you know when those are. Nothing's worse than like, crap, I get my car inspection this month and I have all this other stuff going on. But if you know it's coming, maybe you can plan ahead a little bit more, right? Mark your flexibles in pencil or maybe in a different color or using a Google Calendar. Now, flexibles are things like paper due dates, right? Testing dates, because they can shift, they can move. You want to know when they are there because they might be there around that point, but they might shift, right? This will take time, but I argue it's time well spent. Right? Now, maintaining your academic calendars is a big part of it too, right? You want to check your calendar daily, right? Look at your day, look at your week, look at your month, right? And you want to look ahead to next month on occasion too, okay? You want to make plans accordingly. Think about how are you going to do all those things, right? And you want to maintain your calendar, do calendar maintenance weekly. See how is this going? Because chances are what's going to happen is chances are something will happen in your calendar will mess. There's no way around it. Something will mess up in your calendar, right? Snow days are the prime example in college, right? You have your calendar all set up, and the college closes for a snow day. Oh crap, what does that mean for everything? Everything's got to be thrown up too. So your calendar will get messed up. That's okay. What you want to do is keep moving forward. When this happens, when it gets messed up, don't go backwards and restart everything. Just keep moving forward. All right, checking and maintaining your calendar will help you focus and de-stress. If you know what your plans are and what your obligations are, it can be easier for you to focus, to move forward, right? Think about all that time when you don't know what's going on, how much time you waste trying to figure out what's going on. All right, so bottom line, when it comes to using your calendars and planners, they will help you get your stuff together. They really will. Right. So tell us what you thought. There's a link in the chat and in the description of this video for some feedback on this. But in particular, the feedback I'm interested in receiving, talk about what you want in future sessions. Well, Callie and I are, have some ideas what we want to do here. We want these things are useful for you. So if there's a specific topic you want to want us to talk about, we will be happy to. All right, folks, thanks for joining us for Tuesday's tips, and we'll see you next Tuesday.